Convicted felon Donald Trump gave a disastrous interview yesterday. And what's so interesting, he never goes anywhere but Fox News because they softball him questions. When asked by a real reporter that's watched by real people, not people in the Fox media echo chamber, the disaster is absolutely chef's kiss. It's an embarrassment to him, his administration. Let's start with how he has to double down on gang member photos.
Wasn't a member of a gang, and then they look, and on his knuckles he had MS-13.
There's a dispute.
But wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
He had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was photoshopped. So let me
Okay, stop. Okay, you have the president of the United States who is doubling down on what has been a photoshopped image that he showed. So I have 2 points on this. Number one, he believes it. So if he believes that, I think 25th Amendment, like he's not competent if he believes that. Two, he believes it because the people in his inner circle are yes men and they're not telling him the truth. I'm looking at you, Stephen Miller, that told him, oh yeah, you won the Supreme Court 9-0 in the Garcia case. Well, no, you didn't. It was 9-0 against you. So he is incompetent. He should not be leading. But here's the deal. Terry Moran tries to give him an out. He won't take it because he's such a bozo. He finished it off.
Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. But I picked you, Terry, but you're not being very nice. He had MS-13 tattooed.
We'll agree to disagree. I want to move on to something else.
Terry, do you want me to show you the picture?
I saw the picture.
The Photoshop picture.
It was Photoshop. Well,
Here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Don't look at his hand. He had MS-13.
We can't look at his hand because he's in El Salvador. Okay, couple things on this. You can't look at his hand because you won't bring him back from El Salvador in defiance of a court order. So that's one. Number two, he has to humiliate people. He is a bully, and the only reason that he gets away with all this is because he bullies and humiliates, and people will not stand up to him. You're not being nice to me. I only picked you because I didn't know you. You've got the opportunity of a lifetime. What a dick. I mean, it is so unpresidential, unprofessional. I mean, that's the least of his crimes. But anyway, continue on. Trump talking about tourism.
Canadians, many of them, are really angry, furious about your talk about we're going to take over. Canada's going to become the 51st state. And it kind of is of a piece. A lot of travel is down into the United States from around the world. It feels like there's been reputational damage.
The country's doing great.
Well,
prices are down.
Not the tourism.
Gasoline's down. Energy's down. The tourism is going to be way up. Wait till you see the numbers. The tourism is way up.
Not now.
Now Canada, tourism's doing very well.
Okay, here's what tourism is up. It is way up. Here we go. Here are the numbers. Here are the numbers. Arrivals from Canada, minus 10%. Arrivals from Mexico, minus 20%. Asia is at 0. Europe, minus 20%. These are facts. These are graphs that show the facts. Donald Trump is lying. And another thing I do not think can be overstated is the Conservative Party in Canada was predicted to win by a landslide in their most recent election. And the Liberal Party leader, the prime minister, was elected because they think he can fight Trump. Also, he has a PhD in economy. But this is how much people outside of the MAGA bubble see how dangerous Donald Trump is, because people in other countries are electing leaders they would not otherwise have elected because he is such an authoritarian. It is absolutely ridiculous. Here's another reason why tourism's down. We got word that breaking as of April 26, 2025, the United States has been officially placed on the Global Human Rights Watch List due to declining civil liberties under Donald Trump. And what that tells me is the United States, the beacon on the hill, the place everybody wants to go, the seat of democracy, is now viewed by the world exactly what it is. The brand is wrecked because the Trump administration is pulling people off of the streets, sending them to concentration camps in El Salvador without due process. The world is watching, and unlike the people in the MAGA media bubble, they remember how World War II got started. They remember concentration camps. This is absolutely chilling. It should never happen, not in the United States of America. And on top of all the human rights violation, all the lies, all the bullshit, the 25th Amendment should have been invoked a million times ago. He should be impeached every single day. There were articles filed, but none of these Republican pussies are going to stand up to him. Here's the latest economic news, and Maria Bartiromo on Fox News, she had to put this out, and you would have thought that her dog had died. Here we go.
Welcome back. We have breaking news right now. We're getting the GDP in for the first quarter, and it is a contraction, negative 0.3%. This is the first contraction since the first quarter of 2022. Markets this morning have reversed. The Dow Industrials right now down 115 points on this contraction of the GDP. First quarter GDP, first read. We've got more coming up in terms of advances, but the first read on the first quarter GDP is in fact a contraction, down 0.3% versus an estimate of up 0.3%. First contraction since first quarter 2022. Markets reversing, down at the lows of the day, down 139 right now on the Dow Industrials. President Trump, welcome back.
Okay, this is, you played stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And these Fox News viewers care more about anything than money. And Donald Trump is systematically ruining the economy, the dollar, the GDP, the stock market, you name it. He's a disaster. There's no stability. There's no plan. These tariffs are a disaster. And now Fox News has to get on there and tell their audience that the dear leader they thought was so good for the economy, he's going to be so great for the economy. I mean, I don't agree with him, but he's so good for the economy. This is what you get. And of course, Donald Trump cannot take accountability for not having experts on the economy help him guide his plan. So he takes to his live social, and I know it's going to be a complete shock. He blames Joe Biden. It's Joe Biden's fault. Here we go. This is Biden's stock market, not Trump's. I didn't take over until January 20th. And you know what else? The stock market was up. And you inherited the best economy in the world, according to Rupert Murdoch's Wall Street Journal. Tariffs will soon start kicking in, and companies are starting to move into the U.S. in record numbers. Lie. Our country will boom, and we will have to get rid of the Biden overhang. Lie. This will take a while. This has nothing to do with tariffs, only that he left us with bad numbers. All of that is alive. But the problem is the people that are on Truth Social believe this because they don't look for facts. They're not interested in facts or what experts have to say. So I'm going to show you what we have with leaders, company leaders saying about this. So if for the people in the back, Pfizer CEO says tariff uncertainty is deterring further U.S. investment in manufacturing and research and development. This is the CEO of Pfizer on April 29th, has nothing to do with Biden, directly blames the problems of future investment and R&D on the tariffs. Then we have Adidas. Adidas says, Adidas warns it will raise prices on all U.S. products due to tariffs. Higher tariffs will eventually cause higher costs for all our products for the U.S. market, Adidas said in a statement. And this is what Donald Trump was so mad about yesterday, that Jeff Bezos was going to show people, here's what you would pay, but we have a Trump tariff that is going to increase your product. We saw that Temu, that they're doubling the product price because of the tariff, and they're showing the consumer. How long can these people stay in denial. And then China is just taking Trump around the horn. He is absolutely being humiliated by China. This is what his response regarding Chinese tariffs was to Terry Moran last night. It's just really fascinating.
We basically have an embargo on China.
Look, you're trying to say something's going to happen, Terry.
No. Okay, well,
nothing's going to happen.
You know business.
Terry,
I want to ask you.
He doesn't know business, Terry.
145% tariffs on China, and that is
That's good.
basically
That's
an
good.
embargo.
They deserve it.
It'll raise prices on
They
everything
deserve
from
it.
electronics to clothing to building houses.
You don't know that. You don't know whether or not China's going
That's
to eat
mathematics.
it. China probably will eat those tariffs, but at 145, they basically can't do much business with the United States. And they were making from us $1 trillion a year. They were ripping us off like nobody's ever ripped us off. And by the way, we have other countries that were just as bad. If you look at the European Union, it was terrible what they've done to us.
Why?
Every country, almost every country in the world was ripping us off. They're not doing that anymore.
I want you to think.
Okay. Europe and China are in talks to take away all import tax between those countries. China is going around to the other countries trying to do TikTok, the game is locked, and the U.S. will be locked out of those. Ports all over the United States are empty because cargo ships with products are not coming in. We have estimates by end of May, there will be a huge shortage. Shelves will be empty because Trump is too stupid and too arrogant to go to people for expertise. And he is not a good businessman. He has bankrupted casinos, universities. The Trump Organization has been found guilty of fraud, tax evasion, you name it. This man, when it comes to business, if he touches it, it has been destroyed. And now he's doing it with the U.S. economy. We need leaders of Fortune 500 companies, S&P, Wall Street guys to come out and say, this man is destroying the American brand, the economy. We picked the wrong horse. We need to go back and get rid of this man, put pressure on Republicans in Congress to bring this nightmare to an end, to save democracy. And what they care about is the economy and save the economy. Stick with us for more news. We're trying to get to 1 million subscribers.